we're getting some new breath into gaming. When I see all of the remasters or ports to stuff, I don't get as hyped with stuff like that when it's going to be marketed as like, this is the new thing. You know, we want you to be playing this for a long time. I find it very unlikely that both those games, they're going to have that longevity.
This will just hold off everyone until MW4 comes out. And if you don't want to play MW4, totally fine. Got Black Ops 2 to keep playing and grinding. Welcome everyone to episode 282 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing all right. It's a nice Monday morning here. We're just talking about financially illiterate people.
Yeah.
Which is always a good topic for us.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, when it's friends, it's a tough one. But
yeah.
What are you gonna do? But no, I'm doing good though. I'm doing good. I'm not in that situation. I was saying to you, the only thing that does suck about today is that after recording, I got to haul over to the DMV, and I got to go there probably for the last time in a long time. But I just absolutely dread going there. I don't know how long I'm going to spend there. I'd rather be anywhere else on the planet other than just sitting there waiting for them to call me. So I'm doing okay.
Yeah. I mean, everyone hates the DMV. That's how we got talking about the financial stuff because, I mean, we'll get into it. Being financially literate is very important to everyone, just so you guys know. And it doesn't need to be like crazy or anything. Just know that don't spend more money than you actually make. That's that's all.
And I think we ended with you saying it was just math, and that's really all.
Math. Yeah, don't spend more than you make.
Yeah, too many people that I know in that situation where that doesn't make sense to them. You know, and it's always
to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, otherwise though, man, like I said, I've been doing fine. And we were just recorded not too long ago, so I hope everybody had a good 4th, even coming after the last episode. But yeah, it's been pretty low key. I've been back on my Call of Duty grind. I've been trying to play every day, just making sure the shot's still good. And that's been fun. It's been nice to have time to actually play Call of Duty. Because I've been on a bit of a hiatus from it. So sometimes when I go in there, like the first couple matches I've been playing, I get really nervous because
shaky.
Yeah. Like I got up really early this morning and played. Granted, I'm trying to tell myself, I'm like, bro, it's 6:45 in the morning right now. Like there's no shot. I'm good. But I was getting dusted by people. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, is this it? Like, is the skill base kicking in right now? Am I just ass? Like some of my shots were bad, but yeah, it's going to take a little bit to knock off some of the rust. But then I get into a better lobby. You know, the game kind of slowly eases me in, and I'm kind of slowly but surely getting back to form.
Yeah. I mean, when MW4 comes out, we'll be back in form. I'm going to try to play a bit today because today's Monday, but I took the day off. So I made it a nice 4-day week for me because I knew I needed an extra day to recover from just traveling, which honestly, smart move by me. I'm happy that Justin right before the trip was like, I'm gonna take the Monday off because I'm probably gonna need it. Because right now I could be at work just insanely tired and still trying to just get into that zone of work again, and knowing that I have a bunch of stuff that I need to do like after work. Now I can finish the pod, probably start editing. Get some of the clips done, and then get some stuff done that I need to, and then I have time.
Yeah, dude. When we recorded 280, it was on Saturday, right? Was it Friday or Saturday?
The last episode?
Yeah, last episode. Yeah, on Saturday. Yeah, and we ended up finishing at like I think it was around like after 10. We were chatting after for a bit regarding the trip. Then you're like, all right, I'm gonna go edit and everything. I was like, damn, dude. I'm like, you just got back today. I'm like, you're gonna have one day. Like, that, especially when you come back with the, I don't know, jet lag's really that big of an issue. Like coming out from there, probably not. But still, just being away for an entire week and having to get everything settled and like all the laundry and unpacking. It's like, yeah, bro, you definitely need a couple of days to just get back to baseline. Being at work right now would suck.
Yeah, and we haven't missed an episode. Like this is what we do for you guys. Know? I got back after what, like 8-9 hours of traveling. had to get it done, but we got it done. The episode went up today, so
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's always something that is like able to talk about with like whether it's gaming or Call of Duty, like there's endless amounts. I even just saw with some of the I think there was like a screenshot or like there was a little trailer that was put out for MW4, like, and the
mhm.
hype's already coming for that because we're gonna get actual gameplay of this. I think from our last episode talking about pre-ordering and not having any gameplay, we're doing this on the 6th, so in 10 days we're getting actual gameplay of it, which is every year I always feel the same where these games just don't really seem real to me. I'm playing Black Ops 7. I see in the bottom right MW4 with like I just can't get used to the logo yet.
Mhm.
But knowing that we're gonna actually have this game relatively soon and we're gonna see it, it's always exciting. And I'm always like, damn, it really is happening.
Yeah, I think once Champs is over and EWC is over, it really hits. Because I mean, when EWC is done, I think we'll only have it'll be pretty close to September at that point. So then we have
Yeah.
what the game comes out in November, right? Yeah, so September, October, our off season.
Yeah.
Then yeah, then we roll into the new game, and I'm excited for the new game. So it's always a good refresh and a good restart anytime the new COD comes out.
Yeah, it's been nice playing Black Ops 7 just a little bit of time away from it because you do get a little bit of a reprieve from playing Call of Duty all the time. And especially too, like I've been playing some of the new maps and just getting those in the rotation, which has been nice, but yeah, you can tell they're slapping double XP like across the board. It's just all the time it's on basically. And to me, that's a sign where they're like, all right, we're just kind of pushing this game out here. Like, yeah, get all your levels in, get it whatever you need to. Um, and yeah, they're already kind of just calling it on Black Ops 7 now. Everything's just gonna be focused for MW4, which yeah, I am very excited about it. And I don't really know what to expect, like what we're going to see from this gameplay reveal. If it's going to be just actual gameplay or it's going to be someone talking about it and answering questions, I don't know. But I hope that we do get a good amount of questions answered regarding the game.
Yeah, my I'm assuming this is going to be the multiplayer reveal in
Yeah.
the next 10 days, and then they'll probably have like creators and stuff play, and I'm sure creators at this point that have played, they have videos they want to put out, and these videos are already done. They're just waiting, talking about Tyler right now because I know for a fact these guys, like, they all have content ready to post. So they're just waiting for the actual release so they
Yeah.
don't get sued.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and like with regards to what they have, I'm assuming we're gonna get most of the questions answered. Like regarding the perks, regarding the guns, maps. Um, like it's gonna be to me, it's gonna be interesting to see how different it is from this year.
Mhm.
Because I'll say, man, when I was watching a video on I think it was like the biggest Call of Duty upsets in CDL or just like in Call of Duty history. And when you go back and look at some of these games, even from MW2, MW3, and Cold War, even Black Ops 6, I'm like, damn, this game really does like change quite a bit.
Mhm.
When you look at it, we always say how it really from year to year it is the same. And it's like, yeah, I do still agree with that. Um, but when you do look at this like side by side at times and experiencing them, they are quite a bit different.
Mhm.
So I'm really wondering with this year, like how different is it going to be? Are we really going to go back towards like the MW 2019, like MW2 era of Call of Duty, or is it going to be just kind of a little bit different than Black Ops 7?
Yeah, I mean, it's biased, right? You're playing the current game, so you're not really thinking too much about the previous games, but COD definitely feels different from year to year. You have to play it, but I'm sure if we went back to MW3 and played it, it feels different. And I'm sure with MW4, it's gonna, people have said it's a hybrid between MW19 and MW2. So again, we'll see when the beta actually comes out. And speaking of the beta, um, I don't know when that's going to be released. My guess is probably going to be end of July, or sometime in August. I'm sure they're gonna do like separate waves again, like they did for Black Ops 7, but there is a chance that I might not be able to play at least like 1 week of the beta, which that is gonna be a bummer because I'm going on 2 trips in August, and if
Mm.
it falls on that, then I'm still gonna pre-order the game because I want to play the campaign early. But that's gonna suck because that's a big reason why you pre-order, in my opinion, a COD to get hands on the game like early,
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, bro, we got to make sure these trips are planned planned
yeah,
around the Call of Duty calendar.
right.
That's gonna be yeah. But again, to that point though, they don't ever really specify when they're going to be done. You know, at least I
I
don't think that they have.
well,
You know,
we'll
they
we'll
give like a timeline.
yeah, we'll know after the 10 days because I'm sure once a multiplayer reveal happens, then they're gonna give us the dates when the beta will happen. But again, big part of this is like it's summer, so a lot of people like COD is slowly like they're just trying to push to the next game. People aren't playing as much anymore because it's summer. People are like doing stuff.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. But I will say, not being able to play it or like viewing like any COD on my last trip, it is nice to come back and just have like a fresh set of eyes and just completely reset. And then you hop on COD again, and it's like, wow, it's just very different. Like it clears your head.
No, definitely. I that's kind of what I'm feeling right now, you know, because during the school year, like, I mean, bro, I really would play. I'd play a couple times a week, you know, at the end of the day or like really early in the morning. Um, but now having more time, I'm like really trying to just get back into it. And it's a different feeling when you come back after not playing for so long. And I was watching a video with some of the pros. This was maybe like a month or two ago. They ended up recording this where they were just talking on like, you know, in game chat or in Discord, or whatever. But it was Pred who was talking about after EWC or after like, you know, COD champs. He's like, bro, I don't play. He's like, I don't play games at all. He's like, I put the
Mhm,
controller down completely, you know, because for his hand too, he's like, I just want to make sure my hand is good. Like, I don't want to, you know, wear it down or anything. But that tripped me out to think this guy, they play every single day for, you know, probably 4 to 5 hours, like minimum. And then to just completely stop and come back to it. I'm sure it does a lot for your mental when
mhm,
you just take a complete break like that, cold turkey, and then you come back to it and you're a bit more excited, you know? Because now
mhm,
when I play, I'm like, I find myself when I'm going to go turn on the PS5, I'm like, yeah, let me go play some Call of Duty. Like, let me get some matches in for sure.
mhm.
Whereas before you play all the time, I'm like, you're a little like burnt out on it, you know?
Well, and that burnout feeling, especially when you're playing a game that is like all right. That's why we didn't have this feeling in Cold War. We played all the way through because when you sign on and the game's just like fun all the time to play, then like it's great. And again, with Black Ops 7, I think it is a good game. It is one of those games where you can hop on and just play and not think too much about it and just enjoy it. The numbers don't really show that, but I enjoyed my time, like especially just hopping on and playing and being able to sit down and grind. Like I haven't been uh, able to just sit down and grind and actually enjoy the grind for a bit because, like, what? I'm trying to think. MW3, like that was a pure grind to get to the end. Like sitting down
Mhm.
and just playing. What was the map? Uh,
There was there was a playlist that I remember we were in, like the small map mosh pit
oh
kind of a
yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah, and it's just like the
What
mission
were those?
was load into small mosh pit, the small map mosh pit, and just grind levels. That was it. Now in BO7, like
Yeah,
I
it
hit
was
master like easily, just
horrible.
playing.
Trying to see because I know the exact maps, but I'm like kind of bugging on them. I don't even know if I'm seeing them right now. There was I can't even find these. Jesus Christ, there's so many of these freaking maps too in here that
Yeah,
are getting thrown. It's Stash House. Stash House
yeah,
was one that we played on. That was the one like yeah with the actual house in the middle. Meat.
yeah.
Do you remember that map? with, like, the
Yeah.
truck and
Truck.
everything and, like, the showers in there. Those are the 2 maps I remember playing all the time.
Mhm.
Um, just yeah, grinding out the levels, and yeah, it's fun for a little bit, but then after a while, that stuff just wears on you
It
so heavy.
it turns
Uh,
into a chore. But
yeah,
and the other thing too is like, I don't know, when you're playing along the CDL, it helps. When feel like when we're playing towards something, it's so much easier.
yeah,
Um, yeah, like when we're playing ranked, like there is something to play for. It's to win.
yeah.
uh, or yeah, I don't know. But I do feel like taking a break and then coming back, it clears your mind. Like you get excited again, especially if it's a good game. I mean, if this was Vanguard, I wouldn't really care. Yeah, take a break and doesn't matter because the
Right.
game was whatever. Um, but when you take a break and come back to a game that you actually like, it helps.
No, it totally does, and playing some of the new maps, like, from season 4, which I didn't really play a lot at the time when it had come
Mhm,
out, that's also just a nice breath of fresh air because similar to, like I mean, I think that so far with this game so far, we're at the end, right? I think they've done a pretty solid job with most of the maps that they've added in with these seasons, you know? And this tends to be a trend with some of them, like, everyone says that about MW3, like, Six Star and Vista, those maps are, like, unbelievable. Those are some of the best maps that they've put out in a while, and they should have made the game that. Um, and I played it today. Like I got into was it Vertigo, and then the other one I had to pull up was Zenith or Zenith.
mhm,
I don't know if you've gotten a chance to play those maps at all. Like they're pretty good. I
mhm,
enjoy playing them. There's some of them, like there's one I was like Prime Time, which has it's like reminds me of Black Ops 3, like where it's just hella colorful. And it's like, there was one of those maps I remember from I think it was BO3 where it had inflatable like giant ice cream cones and like all this food and everything. And it was all like a bouncy house kind of a look. You know what I'm talking
mhm.
about?
Yeah, yeah.
This map gives off, like, similar vibes because it has this giant, like, cat statue in the middle that you could go around,
Mhm,
um, but I've been enjoying those maps, and it's nice because yeah, when I go and load into any of the other ones that I've played a bajillion times throughout the year, I just get a little spent on it, you know? Like, I don't wanna be loading into Colossus anymore, I'm kind of overplaying that. When I see, like, exposure and all of those, yeah, we watch them so much in the CDL too because 'cause they're still playing those maps, and then, yeah, we played them since launch, so I
mhm.
don't really wanna see them anymore, like, that tends to be a problem that I think, all these Call of Duties run up against is, yeah, your original maps when they come out for the year, when you have maps like that that are okay maps are not gonna carry the game all the way to the end, you know? You get burnt on those probably within the next, like, 2 to 3 months of launch, depending on how much you're playing. And we haven't had a COD recently that when I've played those maps, I'm like, "Oh my god, these are so good," and they're gonna sustain the game for a while. And I'm really hoping that MW4, that's like a huge thing that we can get from this, is that people who make videos on the maps, they can say that, yeah, they're very good and not be like, some are okay. It's like I that's gonna check me out if I hear that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's just human nature to want new stuff afterwards. So as long as Infinity Ward keeps pumping out maps and we have a good base, then it's fine. But yeah, I just feel like nowadays it's so hard to play the same maps over and over and over again. Um, Even if they're great maps, like I love Raid, love Raid. Raid's a
Mhm.
fantastic map, but the
Yeah.
fact that we've played it so many times, I want something new. Um, which is kind of like the new COD every year, like in general, right? I mean, we always say the COD cycle is definitely real. If Black Ops 7, I enjoyed it, but I'm ready for the next COD. Like I'm ready to try something new again. Um, and like the ports, the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 ports that everyone's talking about. One of the episodes that we were talking about, someone left a comment saying that these ports are for people in their late 20s and people in their 30s, like us, uh, that want that haven't played COD since those days, um, or want to relive like the glory days of COD. That's what those ports are specifically for. I'm like, I completely agree. But how long are people actually going to be playing this? Like, people, that person said it was going to like revitalize, you know, that COD again. I'm like, no, it's not. I truly don't think it will. I think we're past the prime glory days of COD, and there is no bringing that back by bringing an old game back. Yeah, I do think people are going to go and get the game and play the shit out of it for a month or two. Then everyone's going to go back to their own lives. Because at the end of the day, people like us in their late 20s and their 30s, we all have grown up and have like lives now that we have to take care of. We can't just grind all day, even if the game's fantastic. And Black Ops 2, fantastic game. But there's no way that game is going to last that long when the new COD is out. I just don't think it's going to happen. And
I
people are going
agree.
to take that out of context and be like, you are a fucking idiot. This game, Black Ops 2 is a great game. I didn't fucking say that. It is obviously a fantastic game. But tell me that you'll keep playing Black Ops 2 like you did, you know, back then, what, 2013, I think?
Let
I
me
can't
check.
even remember. 2013? Um, Tell me you're going to
2012.
play Black Ops 2012. Tell me that you're going to play Black Ops 2 like you did in 2012. Forever. Because the new CODs don't interest you. It's not going to happen.
I mean, like we said at the beginning of the episode, do the math. I mean, we were we were 14. Like
Mhm.
when we were 14, we didn't have any responsibilities like we do now, and those games and every game that we played hit way different, even for you, like, if you go and play Uncharted now, that game just doesn't feel the same. It's still a great game, but you're not going to get that same feeling that you did when you were 14 or whenever playing that game, because it's just different.
Mhm.
um and I see so much, and I'm sure you do too now. Like, I see so many people talking about this online and just getting hyped about it beyond belief. And that's where, for myself, I wonder if I'm like fucked up because I'm not remotely hyped for these games, you know? And I'm like, maybe I don't love COD anymore. I'm like, no, I'm still playing it. Like, I still enjoy it and everything. But everyone's like, dude, these ports need to come now. We need them today. And I'm just, you can keep them. Like, I don't really care about them.
Mhm.
When they come out, depending on how much we've said before, they're going to be priced. I might play them, and I don't know. I cannot see myself. And I already know I'm not going to be in this camp. I won't be grinding those games. I have no desire to. There's nothing really new about them. We've done them already, and I guess it's going to be something for people that, like, right now with BO7, they're just pushing out the double XP and people are checked on that game. Maybe they're hoping that this is going to be something to just kind of carry them over until we get MW4. Um, but that's only going to be a couple of months. And to what we've said, I really think in the long run, that's what this game is going to end up being for a lot of people. It's just going to be something that right now they latch onto and they're excited about. And yeah, maybe they go and grind it, quote unquote, for a couple of weeks or, a couple of months. But then when the new game comes out, I want to be playing that. I have no desire to go back and play this game, especially when it's just a port. There's nothing revitalized or revamped about it. Um, which some people could argue it's nobody wants that. Everyone just wants what that game was. Um, but for the people that it's made for, the late 20s, early 30s crowd, um, I think a lot of them will play that game and realize that, yeah, this game just doesn't hit the same anymore. You see the gameplay of it and you think back to those good times, but when you're going to sit down and play this, I think it's going to wear off pretty quickly. And then you're left with however much money you just spent on a game that it doesn't really matter because you're like, okay, MW4 is coming out and you're going to go buy
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Clip that. People are going to be like, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah, and people may
I
feel
just,
wrong or feel
oh no,
I'm
yeah.
wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel too. I just think I think we just look at the reality of things, right? Like COD's not the same. And games nowadays don't hit the same. And even outside of COD, they don't hit the same. anymore. There are very few games that like get you that feeling again, and it's rare now. I mean, when you and I have played Split Fiction, that was a game where you and I both played. We were like, wow, like not that we felt like kids again playing it, but as an adult playing that a game like that and experiencing it, and this game feeling that this game was fantastic and we enjoyed every moment of it. As an adult, it's very hard to get that feeling now, and I think that's why everybody's looking for a new game, and they're always looking for the next big thing. And for us, it's going to be the MW4,
Hmm.
right? Like it's going to be the new COD. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1 remastered or ported, like great. But I really don't think people are going to be sitting there playing it for a whole year. And yeah, I guess it'd be different if all our entire friend group didn't stop playing video games. But even then, 6 of us, 7 of us will hop on to Black Ops 2, play for like a week, grind it out, and then everyone's back to their like lives because they have shit that they have to do.
Right.
And you and I are the only 2 people that still play video games. Like in our friend group, I don't really have like any other friends like that just play games still. Even like my college friends, like they don't play anything.
Mm-mm.
Um, everyone's just doing their own thing.
Yeah, and when you go back and, with the whole idea of nostalgia and trying to tap into that, I mean, man, yesterday when I was with my friend and we went to the like vintage game shop, I mean, they've got like new games and stuff too. But I went and bought Star Wars Battlefront 2. You ever play that game?
No, but I know of it. I remember seeing gameplay of it.
Yeah, see, I've never played it. And my friend was like, "Oh, dude, this is like one of the goated games on PS2. Like, it's unbelievable, you know." And it was $10. I was like, "Sure, we'll go buy it." And we went and played it, and it's fun, but I ain't gonna play it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm only gonna play it if I have someone over who's like into that game and knows it, you know. But I'm sure there's people listening to this or others who I've seen talk about that game where they love it. And yeah, at the time, it was the thing. Like that game was revolutionary and it was, it was just filled up with people and everyone, it was the vibe. Everyone was playing that game at the time. But when you go and play that game now, yeah, it's still good and you have a little bit of that nostalgia. But even for my friend who played that game a ton as a kid, that guy got worn out playing that game before I did. We
Mhm.
played like maybe an hour of it, if that. And I could already see that he's like, "Ugh," because he wasn't as good at it or was
Yeah.
struggling or have to figure things out. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's how it goes. Like and I'm a victim of that too. There's PS2 games that I've bought that I was like, oh man, I used to play that when I was a kid. Like, I want to buy that game again. Let me go play. That game was sick. And then I played. I'm like, what the fuck was this game? This
Yeah.
game was
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
It's just not what I was
Yeah.
expecting. And they gather dust. And I think the Call of Duty games, people don't like to say that or think about them that way, but trust me, they are that way for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, you can speak on it more than me. Like, you go back and play a lot of the older games, like retro games and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
I don't at all. Like, I'm very much a one and done person in terms of like games. I rarely ever go back to replay them. And not because it's not like they're not great games or anything. Um, it's just I don't know. I always want the new one. I feel like once I've completed a game and I beat the storyline, to me, there's nothing else that I want to do. Whereas,
Right.
like for you, like you like to trophy hunt. I pick and choose certain games that like I really want to trophy hunt for. Um, and I think that's like 2 sides of the spectrum. And the fact that you feel like that and I feel like that and we're aligned with it, I think it just says something because people our age and older, they say gaming's not the same anymore, which yes, I do agree. Like games nowadays, they're not as good as other games back then. Completely agree. But our lives were different back then too. Um, because when like Pokemon, I know you never played Pokemon growing up, but Pokemon's one of the biggest franchises ever, right? and Nintendo, they released Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch for, I believe it was $20, which $20 is still wild for a game that old. But like, I love those games. That's like what got me into video games in general.
Mhm.
Pokemon Fire Red, and like I play it. The game's good, but those games are like they're so grindy. The
Mhm.
story's fantastic. Um, but when that game released, everybody was so hyped. I saw it for a couple days, and then people stopped playing it. You know why? Because it's so grindy. These games, like, they stand the test of time, but from back then, they were revolutionary. Like, everyone loved these games. But if you sit and play that game now, the only people that are going to sit and watch it are the people that used to play, like me. T. Martin went and posted maybe 3 videos of a let's play of it. I'm like, he's not going to continue this because the game is so grindy.
Mhm.
You can try to speed run it, but if you're trying to do everything right, like it's multiple parts. Um, and people just stop talking about it. And I just really think people nowadays they want the new stuff. You know, we played those old games already. Like, they're not bad games; they're fantastic games. Like, I'll always have a copy of Pokemon Fire Red, but I don't have the same amount of time that I did back then to sit down and play it and like truly enjoy it. And I know MW4 is coming out. I want to play that. GTA 6 is coming out. I want to play that. I have a catalog of games that I want to play and experience for the first time. I'm not going to go back
Yeah.
and play some other games.
Yeah, the novelty of a new game or being able to hop into a game that you haven't played for over a decade, um, that initial excitement is big time and it's like it's phenomenal. But it does tend to wear off pretty quickly. At least from my experience, and I find it now that it's games that I never played back then. Like I went and bought Crash 2 on the PS1 and I have a converter on my PS2 so I can play those PS1 games. I never played those games back in the day. Like I've played them on the PS5 when they did like the, remaster of them or whatever. But when I go and play that game originally on a PS1, like style, it's way different. It's like a completely different game. And that to me still feels new because I'm like, okay, I've never really experienced this before. But when you get a game that it's really just kind of brought over and they haven't added anything new to it, and it looks exactly the same. If you've already played it before, but you haven't played it for a little bit, or like, a long time. Yeah, that first couple matches or, maybe hour or two that you play, yeah, it's exciting. But then after that, there's really nothing that keeps you going because you're like, okay, I already know what's coming next. Yeah, I remember this. I remember that. It all kind of slowly comes back to you. And I feel like Call of Duty is going to be that way with these. When I play Black Ops 1 or 2 or see people playing and we're talking about them, yeah, those first couple of weeks, yeah, for sure. People are going to be loving it and oh my god, this map, dude. How come they never remastered this map, dude? These guns, oh my god, this we need to go back to this. And then you just keep playing it, and then you just get comfortable with it. And you're like, okay, yeah, I had my time with it. It was fun, but um, is it really going to be something that keeps them coming back time and time again? Um, I don't think so. And I think it's hard to, in particular with multiplayer games over single player games too, because multiplayer is all about the community, and like everyone's talking about it. You're seeing stuff at GameStop. Everyone's, posting Black Ops 1, 2 videos on YouTube, gameplay commentaries. We're not going to see that again, more than likely, or that be the main thing that people talk about. And to me, that keeps, just like for us with the CDL, that keeps the game alive in your heart, that you want to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it very unlikely that that game is going to, or both those games are going to really, they're going to have that longevity.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I think this will just hold off everyone until MW4 comes out. And if you don't want to play MW4, totally fine. You got Black Ops 2 to keep playing and grinding. Um,
And I guess that's their strat.
I mean, like, look, I get it. It makes sense, right? I mean, but again, I've said it before. What are they going to do after this? Like, they've pulled every straw out of the bag at this point. Like, what game are they going to remaster or report at this point.
Right.
MW3, the OG one. I mean, again, if they did that, I'm a sucker. I'm gonna buy it. I will play it, but I know that the next game that's coming out, like I'm gonna play that instead. I'm not gonna sit and grind the original MW3. That's just not who I am, and I think I know there are people that will do that. That's totally fine. I get it, but I just think you and I always look forward to the new games, and we're thinking like you're not you're not gonna sit there and play the same game um, over and over and over again, like for years. And I mean, maybe some people have, but you and I are not those people. We look for the next game, and we want to learn that game. And you made a point about the Black Ops 2 coming out and it, not being the same, like the content and everything. Everyone will make content, but I'm not gonna be sitting down watching Scump do live gameplay commentaries with no webcam. I'm not gonna see Nate do
Right.
that. I'm not gonna see FaZe Adapt, FaZe Blaziken, Rain, Apex, all those people that made that time like so amazing. They are not doing that again. And the community that I used to watch, they're not there anymore because they all grew up too. They're
Mhm.
all doing other stuff, and now I watch them for other things. But besides Jeff, I will see him still playing Black Ops 2
Right.
and doing commentaries. But am I really gonna see Scump sit down and like do those commentaries again with Nade? Like, there's no chance. And
Yeah.
like that's what made the community fun. Um, Now, like that Black Ops 2 community, we're all old now, so much older now. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, it really isn't. You're gonna. I think from all those guys, you're gonna get a handful of videos, if that, from them when those games come out, being like playing Black Ops 2 in 2026, and have like the cheesy thumbnail and all that, and it'll be cool to watch those. But after a while, they're not going to keep doing that because that's just not what's relevant. And what is there really to talk about with that game anymore? Other than the initial video of talking about how great it is to play those games, the things that new Call of Duty, our new Call of Duty titles need to take from those games, and like, what am I gonna watch someone grind out Black Ops 1 or 2? Hell no. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't need to see that. It's like, bro, I did that, like,
Mhm.
over a decade ago. I don't care about that. I'd be more interested to learn about, certain things that you could do in MW4, or what, like, the grind is gonna reward you, or what the maps look like, or whatever. Anything, that's new is going to be interesting to me because that's at least an evolution of the game. Yeah, it's never going to be the same and it's not in the same place that it used to be. But you could argue that with pretty much every game. Every
Mhm.
game out there, is not well, of course, they're not in the same place that they used to be, and it's maybe not the golden era of where that game was. I mean, shit, like I looked it up today because I blacked out on it, and I didn't realize that the new Assassin's Creed, new, the resynced, I think that's coming out in like 3 days. Yeah,
Mhm.
because today's the 6th and it's coming out the 9th, I think. Like, look at them. Like, Assassin's Creed is so cooked that that's their new title, is they've gotta go back and remaster this, and everyone's excited about it, and I get it, like, because they've done a complete revamp of it,
Mhm.
but to your point, yeah, what's next for them? Like, Call of Duty is using these games, I guess, in the interim to try to carry people over, and get some excitement from W4, which to me, that's whack because I thought they would never do that because, we're saying this, that we're not going to play this, but maybe other people out there, I'd love to know 'em. Maybe that's going to be their COD for 2026 and 2027 is those 2 games. And
Mhm.
does Activision really want that? Do they want people playing these, ports of a game that is over a decade old and not playing their new title? Like, it's the exact same with the COD 4 and IW situation, except that COD 4 was not a port. That was an actual like remaster
Remaster.
and revamp of the game.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't think that they would have wanted to do this. So that makes it, like, to me, all the more confusing.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like games right now are just they they're off, right? We don't have that same feeling anymore, and it's rare to have the same feeling for games that we did back then. I mean, again, going back, Split Fiction, we were so amped for that game, and experiencing that game for the first time, like you won't get that experience again, especially if it's a great game.
Yeah.
Um, which is why, like, I have a back catalog of games. I haven't played a lot of these games, don't know what happened, and I get to experience for the first time, and I'm going to enjoy it. And it's going to be great. But I just, speaking for myself, I just can't go back and play a lot of games. Like once
Yeah.
it's done for some reason, like in my head, it's done. Like that chapter's closed. I played the game. I know what happened. Um, I'm moving to the next one. And COD for me is the same thing. I mean, yeah, if you, me, and then a bunch of other people are like, "Hey, you want to go play Black Ops 2?" Yeah, I could be convinced to go buy the game if we're all gonna squat up and like grind for hours again, like we did when we were kids. Yeah, I'd do that. But I can say that you and I will probably be the last two like playing it at that point. Because if you and I feel like this, imagine how like our group would feel. They'd buy the game, play it for 2 days, and then they're done
Oh
for
yeah.
a weekend.
Yeah.
Then they're done.
Yeah,
So
like, and that's what I'm saying. The nostalgia and novelty of those games wears off really, really quickly,
mhm,
because you get that initial excitement and then that's kind of it. More often than not, people are not going to stick with that, especially when they've played it so much.
mhm,
And I think about that with this, Assassin's Creed. Like, I'm not going to buy this off rip. I beat that game like within a year ago, like I on
mhm,
the PS4 I went and replayed it. Like, I have no desire to play that game again anytime soon, even if it is beautifully remastered and they've added a whole bunch of content, like, well, a whole bunch, but they've added stuff to it. And like, yeah, that's great, but that game to me as a whole, it's still very fresh in my mind, and it's not worth paying $60 to go and replay that again. Like, I'm gonna
mhm.
buy that game more than likely like well over a year from now, where I'm kind of getting a little foggy on it, or I see that it's only worth like 15 bucks and then I'll pull trig. Um, and even still, that game will probably wear off for me pretty quick. Like, once all the new stuff comes to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that, I remember that. And it just kind of, doesn't really go anywhere. Um, but yeah, having a new game that comes out where you get into it and you really can experience it and be, you know, in with what's new instead of having to, relive the nostalgia or just getting baited by that. Yeah, we had that with Split Fiction. I had that with the 007 game. Like, I didn't say, and I won't spoil anything at the end of it, but they set that game up for a sequel at the end. And to me, I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, this is really good because this is a damn good game. And they've solidified themselves as now, like, this is going to be a series. This is the first one that they ever made, like revamping the James Bond video game series. But people love the game and they're going to more than likely continue as the series goes on. um which that's the stuff that I enjoy with gaming and seeing developers. They go and make a new game that's, like, yeah, it has been used, the idea, years past, but we're getting some new breath into gaming. When I see all of the remasters or like ports to stuff, um I don't get as hyped with stuff like that when it's going to be marketed as like, this is the new thing. We
Mhm.
want you to be playing this for a long time. Not like on my PlayStation catalog where they've got all the vintage games that, yeah, you play them for 20 minutes and then you're like, okay, whatever. They're disposable. And they're kind of there for that for some people. Not with these games where, yeah, the Black Ops 1 and 2, they're making a big deal about this where everyone's going to be playing them. I'm like, I just don't see it.
Yeah, and I think it's so hard to do that for an online game. Like,
Yes, very
it's
much so.
so hard. I mean, single player games, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag Resynced. I'm totally with you. I'm gonna get it, but I'm for sure beating Valhalla before. I'm playing Mirage before. I'm playing Shadow before. I'm not gonna get to Resynced anytime soon, and
Mm-mm.
I'm probably gonna buy it when it's on a major sale because with that game. And the fact that I'm saying that I'll even buy it is big for me because they did change it. Like the fighting mechanic is completely different.
Yep.
But they did a whole overhaul of it. So yeah, I will try it, but I know what happens in the story. So I'm not going to get it anytime soon. I've got a bunch of other games I'd rather play first before I get to a story I've already played with different mechanics.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. I think it's always interesting to see like other developers, create a new story that people are excited about. Like Naughty Dog with the Uncharted, right? They created like a great franchise, and then in the middle of that, they created The Last of Us,
Yeah.
and that turned into a fantastic franchise. I mean, like, regardless what people say, like, yeah, if you don't like the other games and you only like the first Last of Us, sure, whatever. I think that's what most people feel, anyways, with most games, and in general, the first one's always the best one.
Yeah.
Um, but Naughty Dog's taking they ended Uncharted supposedly. Apparently, there are rumors that they're gonna do some like sequel or something, but they're creating like another franchise, intergalactic
Yep.
game that could turn into something new. I like take the risk, create something new.
Yeah.
Um, they know when to end a series, and like with The Last of Us, we don't know if it's actually gonna end. Like they left it with the cliffhanger. Are they going to
Right.
go and create another game? Or are they not? Are they could end it there.
Yeah.
And it sucks when I guess like as a fan, right? You could want the game to keep going on. And as a business too, I mean, they could kill it if they created another game for The Last of Us. But do they want to?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool when new ideas for games like develop and then a new game comes out that leads into a whole new series that people are going to fall in love with, but you have to know when to end it,
Yeah.
and
And
a lot of people don't want to do that.
right. And this is all like in the single player realm where you can get away with that. And,
Yeah,
and even still, like they're not guilty of it, or they're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they've done this as well,
innocent,
where,
and
yeah, yeah, thank you.
or
Where they've gone and they've done the same thing with The Last of Us remastered and
yeah,
reported and Last of Us 2. Like the game came out and then, 6 months later, they're like, oh, you want it on the PS5?
yeah,
Like, I mean, they all do it, but I can understand it with those games from it for an aspect of one, depending on the price, of course, like that's a big thing for me. And also two, those are strictly single player games, like some of them, I think Last of Us did have multiplayer in there. I can't remember if two did.
mhm.
And I
It's
know with
all
this,
about the visuals too, like
yeah, yeah,
going from the PS3 to the PS5. Like, look, I understand it, like the remasters and stuff.
right,
Like
right.
you buy them, like, and like I get why people buy them, because yeah, it's gonna look insane visually. It already looked insane back then. It's gonna look insane now, like even better.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, and time has passed too, not just
yeah,
like for the game, but like you as a player too. Yeah,
hmm
like even still for us, Last of Us 2, I've only beaten that game one time.
hmm
And I'm pretty sure you have too. Like
yeah,
I'm not ready to play that game again.
hmm
It's gonna take a long, long time for me to want to go and revisit that game. Um, but those being single player games and being priced properly and understanding why you're buying it and what they're doing is fine. Like again, I have no beef with people buying the AC resynced. Like I think that's fine if you haven't played in a long time. Like, yeah, there's every reason to. $60 is, it's a good amount of money, but again, with the work that they've put into it, I get it. But those are so easy because that's all reliant on you and you're really getting into what that game is like if it came out in 2026,
hmm
instead of when Black Flag came out, I think in 2013, because it was like the same time when GTA 5 came out. Like that's a massive jump. And for people who haven't experienced it or, it's been that long, it's a good way to. But when it comes to these multiplayer games, like for me, it's all about the amount of people that are playing it and everyone that's in the same kind of mindset with it being the new game. You're just not going to have that, you know? And I don't think they've put out where they're going to be on the price for these two ports. Um, but it would not surprise me if they're going to be like $30 or $40. If it was 30 for both of those games, I don't think that's too bad. of a deal. But with it being Activision, you never know how much it's going to be. But that's
Yeah.
kind of my, like, problem is, you're gonna pay this money for it just for nostalgia, and then the community is gonna be there for the first, week or 2, or maybe a little bit longer. But being a multiplayer game and with a new COD coming out, and there's a new one, like, with Black Ops 7 still out there's still plenty of people playing it, like, when I go and play games, I just don't know how many people are going to be there. Because if there's no, like, you can go play MW3 right now on PS3. Good luck. There's no
Mhm.
one playing it, you know? And it's like, yeah, you wanna go and relive that multiplayer? Like, you really can't, because there's just not as many people playing it, and people that are playing it, they've been grinding it forever or they're hacking.
Mhm.
It's not the same experience.
Yeah, and I think with the ports, the community that, like, you're speaking of, I think in the beginning, everyone's gonna hop on and play, right? And Black Ops 7, I'm sure on Twitch, YouTube, like, all these live stream platforms, more people are gonna be playing Black Ops 2 than Black Ops 7 in the beginning,
Yeah.
100%, because Black Ops 7 at this point is, like, it's kinda dead, or it
Yeah.
is dead, Everyone's looking forward to the next game. Um, but going into, MW4, I can imagine the majority of those people from BO2, no matter how much you hate COD and you won't play the next game, a lot of those players will jump into the next game. And of course, there's going to be community that still stays and plays the ports. But yeah, I mean, these ports are for people like you and I, people a little bit older, and the people that like have never played it. Like, I don't think you can take teenagers nowadays and put them on Black Ops 2 on these ports and they're going to be like, this game's fire. I just don't think that's no. I think they're going to, like, your students, if your kids played BO2, I've never played it, they're going to be like, this shit is trash.
Yeah.
They're probably going to think MW19 was the best COD ever, and like people do think that. Um and people think that MW19 was like the COD, like they have great memories from it where you and I don't, but people think MW19 is a fantastic game. Um, those people that go and play Black Ops 2, they're not going to like it. I know that for a fact. They're going to hate it. And they're going to be like, so this is a game that everybody keeps talking about that's so great, that's so good. And I'm like, yeah, it was fantastic at the time. And it started you know, the COD scene. It blew up the COD scene because of all these creators on YouTube, all the people I used to watch and like grew up on.
Mhm.
Now we're all older. It's so different.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with COD is you always see people that are around our age or a bit older too that love those games and still hold them in high regard. And like we do too,
Mhm.
MW3, like the original ones for us. I mean, that's a great era of COD. It really is one of the best eras. But you know, with it living at that time and how we were, and partly just because we play every year, like there are years that if I went back, I would still be like, yeah, that was a really good year. Like this was really fun. I think to like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4, those games are not that far removed from us that I would still have a bunch of fun playing those because those are more similar to what's going on now with
Mhm.
Call of Duty. And they were so different still at the time where for going from Black Ops 7 to Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, those games are just infinitely different. And they're great in their own right, but yeah, the people to your point who started in 2019 or who started on COD in the last 2 years, I just don't see them being interested in playing those old Call of Duty titles. And I feel like that's a huge market of people that like the younger people that are probably only 16, 18 years old and they weren't even alive when those games were like, in their prime or they were like, infants. I just I don't see the longevity there with those games. But I think there's still going to be a community again that like they will play them and probably be diehard grinders of them, but um, I know you and I are not those people. I've always enjoyed COD that every year it challenges me in a new way and I have to think differently. I have to play differently, whatever mechanic that they throw at me. And it's like to me, it's like a checklist every year. Like, yeah, I played that one. I was okay at that. Like Then maybe one year I played it. Okay, it was dog shit. Like couldn't do that year. I don't need to go back in the lineage. Like I already
Mhm.
did that. I already got my prestiges and everything that I wanted to out of that game. I For me, it's just every year I want to be tested and moving on and like following the evolution of it. I want to be like with what's trending, like and what's new. I'm not interested in going back on a game like that for multiplayer sake. And especially a game we played a lot of. I know for
Mhm.
myself, like Black Ops 2 I played a good amount of, but Black Ops 1 I played a lot of. Like I don't get as excited about playing multiplayer games over again.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think there's gonna be a community there. It's just gonna hold off everyone until MW4 comes out. I
Yes.
mean,
That's all it's going to be.
yeah, and which is, I mean, it's great for everyone, right? Like that we get these ports and stuff, but I don't think this is gonna like bring COD back or anything. And you like Activision wants to capture the new player. Well, you have to capture the new players because if you don't, your franchise will just die. You, Black Ops 2 is just going to show the amount of people that they already have that, or that they used to have too. Um, like we're going to be there. I
Mhm.
mean, again, if a bunch of us were like, "Hey, let's go buy Black Ops 2 and play this," I totally would. But
Yeah.
I know that it's only going to last for what, a couple a couple of weeks or so. I mean, it's just so different now. Like the kids now are playing Valorant. They're playing like all these new games. When they're our age, they're gonna look back and be like, "These are the games that like we loved
Yeah. Now,
and like hooked on."
dude, when I would talk to some of the kids at school about games that I had played, dude, they had no idea what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
they don't know PS3 games.
Hmm.
They've never heard of them. And to us, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? But then you have to think like, yeah, homie was born in 2015.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you need to be making games for people that are like being born now,
Hmm.
or are like kids right now. Like that's who, of course, their main audience is. Those are the people that are going to be doing it because those are the people that have the most time to be playing.
Hmm.
Like we don't game as much as we used to. It's just, and everyone our age doesn't, unless you're like a professional, like CDL people. But even still, those guys are younger than us. Like,
Hmm.
dude, you have to be making your game for the new people that are coming along and those that are going to be putting in all the time. And like closing on that whole thing with, I think those games are really just going to be made for, like you said, our age, people in their 30s. And yeah, I'm sure they're gonna be fun. Like I doubt we're gonna hear anything bad. How could you hear anything bad about it?
Yeah.
It's literally a port. It's the exact same game.
Hmm.
Um, but I think people will get tired of it a lot quicker than they imagined. I don't think they're
Hmm.
gonna go into it and be like, "Dude, this is it. Like we've got COD for the next couple years. Let's just keep this going." I
Hmm.
don't see that being the reality.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to reiterate, this is a good thing for COD. Sure, like we're not saying this is bad that they're porting everything over. Like it's good, sure, but we want the new COD. We want the new thing. I think it'd be a funny experiment for you to bring like let the kids play BO2 and versus Black Ops 7. Like we lived through the entire Black Ops series so far. Isn't
Yeah,
that crazy? And like the kids, they probably what? Yeah, if you were born in 2015, your first one was a jetpack, BO3.
yeah.
Like that's that's
If you were
nuts.
playing when you were like 6 months old.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like
that
straight up.
that's nuts. And I guarantee you those kids are going to go back and if they played BO2, they're like, "Man, this shit is trash."
Dude,
And it's just a different reality.
dude, a lot of these kids started on MW2 or MW3 when I talked to them
Yeah.
about it. Like that's their first COD, you
Yeah.
know?
They
And
only know tax sprint.
yeah, no, legit. They only know that. And I remember I remember once one of the guys on my team, he brought in his PlayStation and he had COD Ghosts on it and I 1v1 people. Oh, I was shitting on them.
Mhm.
But I remember this kid being like, "This game is dog shit. This game sucks." And I was like, "What you mean, bro?" And he's like, "Dude, it's just so fucking slow. Like everything's
Yeah.
so like all like the colors suck, all this sucks." I'm like, this is what it was back in the day. Like,
Mhm.
I went and last thing is I went and bought yesterday. I was at the shop. I'd never seen it before. It's I have to go look it up. It's World at War, but it's on the PS2. Yeah, Final
Mhm.
Front is the name of this game. One of the weirdest. I've never played this COD. I've never seen it before. But when you go and play that, like that's for some people, that's their OG. You hear Hex being like, "Oh, COD 3, bro." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, homie." People who hear him say that and are like, "Yeah, dude, that's sick." You ever play COD 3? Like,
Yeah.
you ever play those Call of Duties? Like that shit is jank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it, people have no idea, but they see just like screenshots of it and they're like, dude, that's so tough. It's so cool. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
put a controller in your hand and try to play that game, dude. Try to aim
Mhm.
at somebody. I dare you. Like
Mhm.
those games are just way, way different. And if you're someone who your first game was MW3, there ain't no chance you're gonna convince that person that like Call of Duty World at War Final Fronts or COD Ghosts, you're like, dude, this is the shit. Like
No, no, exactly,
they're gonna be
yes.
like, you're
Their
tweaking.
their MW2, MW3 was ours.
Yes.
Like, they
Yeah.
think those games are, like, gonna be the shit when they're our age, and these kids are like, "Well, what's the big deal about having a mini map or no red dots?" Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. That's what I started off with. I'm like, yeah, you have to respect the older games and, honor them, but you don't necessarily need to like them, I guess. Like these kids, they're just not going to like it because it's too slow. Like we are hitting so many inputs nowadays in our freaking controllers.
Yeah. I mean, look, those games, to me, I would say that you should, if you're a fan of the series, have the
Yeah,
respect and reverence for those games and what they did, laying the groundwork for the series at the time. Um, but is that where the series needs to go to progress in the future? No.
yeah. It needs to be modernized, and like there's a way to modernize that. But right now with these ports, it's fine that they're doing it. It's going to bring the community back for like a second. Hopefully they stay till MW4. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you and I think most people for COD, we are looking for a new COD that's modernized to like what we had back in the day. That's what
Yeah.
we want.
Yeah. I would leave it on this, Justin. I'm more excited for the MW4 multiplayer reveal than I am for the ports to come out.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
Clip
at.
that. Clip that. People can be like, you
Yeah.
guys are the problem. I'm like,
No, it
why?
could be. They could be.
I,
But again, I'm fucking 28. I don't need to go and play those
yeah.
games again. I don't need to see anything on them. I played them. I done them. I don't know anything about MW4. Like I want to go and see that because I
Mhm.
know that's what you and I are going to be playing for the rest of the year. Like that's
Yeah.
going to be the game.
Yeah, and I mean, let us know, guys, like how you feel. Well, this is for conversation. If you guys want to talk about it, of course, we're here to talk about it because I'm
Mhm.
sure there are people that feel the same way as us. There are people that probably think we're completely chalked and COD is bad because of us. But I like to think we are truly vets, and everybody around our age, we're all COD vets. If you played like all these CODs, you know, we all have our own experiences. Um, and you and I are just ready for new CODs. So, I
Yeah.
mean, let us know down below on the
Mhm.
YouTube or even in the comment section on Spotify. Let us know what you think. If you think it's chalked, like what we're thinking is just completely stupid, or, you look at it and you actually agree. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, like you just want a new game. Um, but yeah, make sure to go on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe over there. And make sure to follow us on anchor.fm/the COD Casuals, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, all that stuff. Um, and like, yeah, leave a comment down below. And
Mhm.
also, we're on Instagram, TikTok. We cut up all the episodes. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we post them over there. And leave a 5-star rating
Always.
always
Mhm.
because it helps us out a ton. And we're on our way to 1,000 followers on Spotify and I think across other platforms too. So make sure to follow. And we didn't shout it out, Discord, because if you want to have a conversation with us or argue, maybe if you argue, we might ban you. But if you want to have a conversation, go join the Discord. The link's down below.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
I think that's it, man.
yeah. So thank you, everyone. This has been episode 282 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin,
And I'm Mike.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.